What is up, people? What is up, gente? What is up? I'm back. I know I disappeared for a little bit. Haven't been posting on this channel. I hope you guys, though, are racking up the miles. I hope you guys are putting the pedal to the metal. All gas, no brakes, just cruising and coasting on them interstates, on them roads, letting the four-wheelers know to get out my way. I got a hot load that I gotta deliver to. But of course, we all know that. We all know, you know how that goes. Hurry up and wait. Anyways, man, I just wanted to, make a video. I don't know if it's going to be quick. I don't know if it's going to be long. I got a new mic I picked up at, I think it was at Ross, for fairly cheap. So I figured, you know what, might as well add it, to the collection, to the camera and whatnot. So we're going to see if it works, if it sounds good. If not, then, hey, it is what it is. But anyways, I'm posting this video to also let you guys know that, and I'm going to be walking around in a minute, so if you guys see some B-roll footage of me walking in this truck stop, then it is what it is. I'm just trying to get some exercise. But anyways, as I was saying, I just wanted to post this video to update this channel, as well as to, I'm no longer at the company, the first tanker company, food grade tanker company that I was driving with. I got nothing bad that I'm gonna say. If you go to there to drive for them, then you go to drive for them. That's where I got my foot into food grade tanker, and that's where I fell in love with food grade tanker, and it'll forever have a special place in my heart. I drove for them for 2 years. And yeah, so I got nothing bad to say with them. It was a great time, and unfortunately, due to some circumstances, personal circumstances that transpired, I just decided that, hey, it's time to move on and find something else to do. And so I moved on, and I went to a pneumatic trailer or tanker, whatever you want to call it. I moved on to dry bulk pneumatic trailers with a company based in Florida as well too. Now this, I will say this, because it left me feeling a little weird. The company, I can't say the name because unfortunately they make you sign some paperwork where you're not allowed to mention them or post videos or whatnot, or pictures of them. And you sign this form, and obviously when you sign a form like that, then you can be held liable. And you guys know, if anybody that's anybody that is smart enough to know that you basically, once you sign these type of forms, you can't say certain things. So I'm not going to mention their name. I just will say that ever since I got my CDO, I had always wanted to drive for these guys. They had nice trucks. They kept up a very good appearance with their trucks, and I had always heard very, very good things about them, or so I thought. Up until I started driving for them, and I realized there's a lot of work required, and you're gonna definitely be getting your hands dirty, and you may not necessarily always get to shower because it's just part of trucking. But since you're getting your hands dirty, that not being able to take a shower is kind of I don't know if it's my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And it also made me realize that I am a steering wheel holder, and I'm actually proud to say, I don't care. I'm a steering wheel holder, and gone are the days where I used to be like, oh, you gotta sweat, and you gotta break your back, and you gotta toil in the sun or any kind of weather to be a real worker, to be a real professional. But Gone are those days. I tried it out and I realized, this style of trucking, or this genre of trucking, or this way of making a living is not for me. I grew up in agriculture, and I got my CDL because, yeah, I didn't want to, toil in the sun as much anymore. And I know that there's a, saying, or an acronym for CDL stands for, can't do labor. And that's literally, me right now. I don't want to do manual labor and make the same amount of money, or less, right, than what I was making before. So, yeah, man. So I just decided against it, and decided to quit. And that was another story too, because I'm gonna say this, and you guys can agree with me or disagree with me. Quite frankly, I don't really care, because I'm the one recording this video. So whatever, I mean, you can post mean comments, and I'm just gonna restrict them. Anyways, as I'm saying, yeah, man. So I didn't put my 2 week notice, and I left. And I got told that you can't do that. That's not professional. This and that. And I just didn't like the way that I was so expected to like, no, you gotta run one more load before you can quit at least. That's what I was told, and I was just like, look, dude, I'm here to get my keys back, and that's it. All right, that's it. I'm not here to debate or argue or go on this thesis and give you as to why I'm leaving you. Nah, this is it, man. This ain't for me, and that's it, right? That's it. I don't want to be arguing. Don't want to be debating. Don't want to write you a whole lecture or give you a 3-point thesis as to why I don't want to be here anymore. Just not my type of work. Too much labor involved. Yeah. And so I said, adios, bye-bye, hasta la vista. So that was with the pneumatic, or the dry bulk pneumatic stuff company. And now we are here today. So you're probably wondering now, or you're probably thinking to yourself like, man, hurry up and get to the point. Who are you driving with? We don't care what you've been through. We don't care if you're whining. We don't care. Just tell us who you're driving for now. Dang, why you guys gotta do this stuff? And the sad reality is, most of you guys are just truck drivers driving along down the road. You ain't got nothing better to do than be some chismosos or gossipers, just want to know what's going on. But before we do that, though, why don't you hit that like button? Give me a thumbs up, all right, on this video, just to get some engagement, because like I said, I haven't posted anything on this channel, so I'm probably all the way in the back spectrum, the dark side of the moon on YouTube, so why don't you go ahead and give me a like, all right? Just hit that little like button real quick. Just do it real quick. I'm gonna give you some time. Let's count. Uno, dos, tres. All right. So yeah, so after I left that pneumatic company, I decided, you know what, I like doing food grade tanker. Maybe I made a mistake in leaving food grade tanker. Maybe I should go back. So I applied, and I didn't hear back from anybody. I got a couple no's. And so I was about to go to Creek Carriers, the dry van division. Which, I'll be honest, once you pull tankers, man, it's like I don't want to do anything else anymore. Food grade tankers was just the easiest job I ever had in my life. I even gained weight. You could see it in my little chest here. You got, almost got some boobies, right? But the easiest job, man. Easiest job. So I figured, you know what? If it's, and I'm not trying to be all spiritual here for a second, all right? So don't get me wrong here. I just figured, you know what? If it's the Lord's will, if God sees fit, let him bless his humble servant with the food grade tanker job. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go to creek carriers, you know. And and yeah, it came to be where I woke up one morning with my phone ringing, and it just happened to be this company that I'm at now, who this recruiter called me and said, "Hey, can you do a drug screening today?" And I said, I couldn't believe it because I was like, "Wait a minute, it's Thursday. It's Thursday." It was a Thursday morning. I'm sleeping in late, like a bum at my house on my bed. And I wish I could tell you that I had a beautiful, lovely Latina that I was cutted up, slobbering, next to, but no, it's just me in my bed. The quietness of my, neighborhood. And so, like I said, I answered the phone, and she's like, "Can you do a drug screening today?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? When do you want me to do it?" She says, "Just get it done by." Oh, okay, so my camera ended up overheating for whatever reason. I guess with this new mic connected to it, it produces extra heat internally, so it cut off. By the way, the DJI. By the way, the camera that I've been using has been the DJI Action 2, and this camera tends to have this overheating issue for a while now, and I'm just gonna tell you, probably don't get it, don't get it. But anyways, it's good for B-roll and whatnot, but all this other extra stuff, no, don't get it. Anyways, so the recruiter calls me, tells me go do the drug screening. I go ahead and do it that day. Drive over to Lake Wales, Florida, to do it. Got it done. And she told me, "Hey, can you come in on Monday to do orientation?" And I said, "Yes, let's go, vamonos, let's get it done. I want to drive food grade tanker again." And the good thing is, this company is literally down the road from the first food grade tanker company that I drove for. It's literally down the road. So yeah, man. So I just ran my first load from Auburndale, Florida, up to Paw Paw, Michigan. Had a nice little drop-in hook, and yeah. And orientation wasn't too bad. It was 2 days. First day, you fill out any necessary paperwork that you need to fill out. They try to do everything through the 10th Street app now, so you got to watch all your videos. You got to do all the filling out the forms, electronically, signing all the forms electronically on the 10th Street app. So just know that, you do that while you're still at home. And pretty much that's it, man. And then you go do your road test. We did our road test. It was 3 of us. It was 3 people, including me, right? So everybody there had food grade experience, food grade tanker experience, I mean. And the orientation guy, his name was Gerald. He was a driver as well too. So it went pretty smoothly, man. I will say that, yeah, it went pretty smoothly. There's nothing I can say that was like, "Oh my God, this is not, what I want. This is not what I expected." The only thing, the only issue that popped up was that when I finally got assigned my truck on Wednesday, I had some error stuff pop up on the dash, the ABS light and traction control, if I remember. So it took them all day to fix that, and then but other than that, I got to rolling. And I delivered my load. Or I went and picked up my load and then returned and got the truck fixed. And then once it was fixed in the evening, I drove in the evening to gain some ground and deliver the load. But other than that, man, I can't complain. It's been smooth sailing so far. Like I said, I've been a big fan of food grade tanker ever since I got into it, and it seems like I can't step away from it now. And I'm gonna try to be here for. I'm not gonna even say that anymore. I'm just gonna look. I know you are talking junk right now to yourself, probably, but I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna make my money and I'm gonna, drive till the wheels fall off. Well, let's not say that. I'm just gonna drive as long as my little heart is content, right? So yeah, man, let's do this for the good times, and let's get to rolling. So anyways, so let's reveal who I'm driving for. Let's reveal who I'm driving for. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm driving for Bynum. Bynum. Peterbilt 579. Rides smooth, handles good. It has the Cummins engine in it. Engine brake holds me back nicely. And yeah, man, so I mean, like I said, I just ran my first load, just making this video just to let you guys know that this is the truck that I'll be using to make content with, posting it. You know how I am. I like to take pictures and videos of my truck just for the sake of, having something to do. And if you want to come over here, if you want to, drive for them, I know there's other people who've driven for them that are currently on YouTube, or, got videos on YouTube. But yeah, you do what you need to do. But if you want to come over here and you got questions, holler at me, get at me, send me a message on Instagram or wherever you can, email me, and I'll do my best to answer. Yeah, man. But if you want to use me as a referral as well too, just let them know Santiago sent you, and whatnot. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video here, because if otherwise I'm gonna just keep rambling, and it takes too much internet to upload a video, and I don't have that luxury right now to be wasting gigabytes. I'll probably have to just, get as close as I can to the truck stop entrance to upload this video, hopefully. So yeah, man, like I said, if you got any more questions, let's do the thing. Do your thing and ask me the questions. If you don't, then hey, it is what it is. But I definitely will be updating you guys as far as what's going on here. Well, no, I don't want to say that. I'm gonna be making videos on what my experiences are. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna be doing all the extra stuff. All right. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. And thanks for lasting this long, to watch the video. So I hope you guys are safe out there. If you see me out there, say hi. By the way, appreciate everybody that has said hi to me out there, and whatnot. But anyways, like I said, y'all have a good one. Enjoy y'all's whatever you're doing. If you're driving, be safe. If you're eating, take a bite from me. If you're spending time with your family, enjoy the family. And if you're on home time, then hey, just eat a good steak for me, please. But anyways, a ratos, adios, goodbye, and I'm out.